Welcome to Comicazi Videodrome. I'm here with Miracle Max.
That's Comicazi Mike, and we're here to talk to you about the comics you could be reading. New, old, graphic novels.
Holy moly, Max! So our lead-off discussion this issue will be about comics in the media, and as there's so much comic material out there for movies and now television, we felt like that was a good thing to lead off every issue of Videodrome. Yeah. So we're going to kick it off with the fastest man alive, The Flash.
That's cool. I haven't seen the show yet, but I mean, it looks great. Like, Flash's costume looks awesome. He looks like he does in the comics. I mean, have you seen it yet?
I have watched both episodes. It is fun. It is lighthearted. It's a blast. It's so far my favorite comic TV show out.
Wow, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. But the Flash is one of my favorite superheroes. And for those who don't know, Flash is one of the original Silver Age superheroes, meaning that he was sort of the forerunner, no pun intended, of this second run of comics where they were taking names that you recognize like Flash, Green Lantern, the Atom, and really streamlining them for newer audiences with newer origins, cooler costumes. And Flash has stuck around. Flash really reverberated with a lot of people, I think because of his sort of his everyman appeal.
Yeah, and that everyman appeal, while Barry had that, he was very straight-laced, a big Boy Scout, always did the right thing, but that was kind of one-dimensional. His sidekick, Wally, as Kid Flash, who inherited the role of Flash in the 80s, is arguably the best Flash.
Oh, yeah. He's the one I grew up reading, and he was just very, blue-collar, down-to-earth, but he was just, to me, he was a kid who just had the best role models of his life growing up, because he was originally Kid Flash, so he eventually, he was friends with the Teen Titans, he hung out with the Justice League a lot, so of course when he grows up, he is going to be an even better Flash than Barry was, and he was for a while, right. I'd say.
He stumbled along the way, but there are some great stories with him. Which Terminal Velocity, where he gets a new world view and learns how to use his existing powers and gets new powers. Essentially, this is the story that launches him into running faster than he's ever run before, and all the subsequent powers that come from that.
Well, let's not forget Jeff Johns' run, which really brought back the Rogues in full force. I mean, Flash really had an awesome slew of villains. I mean, they're kind of goofy, so for a while they definitely fell out the wayside as he was getting more powerful, You saw less of Captain Cold and Heat Wave and the Trickster. Mirror Master's super cool. But Jeff Johns brought those guys back in full force as sort of like the Rogues, They're an actual team now. They got a code of ethics, which you don't really see a lot with certain villains, which made them actually fairly relatable characters. Read some Flash. So today, highlighting some of our newer books, we're going to talk about one of my favorite superheroes, the former Robin, the former Nightwing, Dick Grayson.
Excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed Dick Grayson, the first sidekick. That's his huge place in comics history.
Yeah, he was definitely the first attempt to sort of reach out to a specific target audience, which was kids, and he was wildly successful as a character.
As he launched many, I couldn't even say dozens at least, of kid sidekicks. Every hero had one in the Golden Age. And who has survived as a sidekick into the modern age? Not many. Yeah,
I agree. And just the fact that he's able to fall back into that sidekick role, but he was definitely allowed to grow as his own character. And eventually he became his own hero. He became Nightwing, which became wildly popular during the new Teen Titans run, which is one of my favorite runs of comics.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, he stepped out from under Batman's shadow, joined the other popular sidekicks, and that was in the 60s.
But he was taking on stuff that was like, they were taking on threats, especially in the 80s during the new Teen Titans, that Batman wasn't even going on. Batman in the 80s was very much like a street-level hero, fighting mobsters and stuff like that. And Dick Grayson's like fighting extra-dimensional demons and space aliens.
Yeah, this
and stuff
book,
like that.
the 80s Titans by Wolfman and Perez, with Robin, Dick Grayson leading them, was butting heads with the Uncanny X-Men, which is arguably their heyday, the 80s, for top spot in comics.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And I think, a little bit Robin's sort of taken for granted as a character. There's a lot of jokes about him and whatnot, and he's wearing his little pixie shorts, which is fine. But he is Batman didn't go long without a Robin. He's right up there with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. Robin's right there in the Mount Rushmore of DC superheroes, I'd say.
Indeed.
What's your favorite interpretation of Robin?
I've got to say, I like him in the Titans, but as Nightwing. I like him when he becomes Nightwing, and he takes that name from some Superman Bottle City of Kandor heroes, Flamebird and Nightwing.
Pretty
and
cool.
He takes that name for his own identity to finally step free of Batman. And
it's a great moment in the comics.
It is. When he leaves the team, that issue with him and Wally, when they both find their own identity, with it just them and their costumes strewn all over the logo.
That is cool.
But once he becomes Nightwing and leads the Titans, that's my favorite iteration of Dick Grayson.
That's cool. Well, I just added this to my subscription list, but the new series, Grayson, is very cool. It's, again, him stepping out of a role he's comfortable in, that being Nightwing, and stepping into a new role as a spy, going by his own name, Dick Grayson. I think he's got a funny little code name, but for the most part, he is just Dick Grayson. He's working for a spy agency called Spiral, which first showed up in Batman Incorporated as sort of this. You'd like to think that they're a little more S.H.I.E.L.D., but in actuality, they got a lot of aspects of kind of Hydra to them.
Yeah, I'm still wrestling with this incarnation of him, but I like it. I see how Dick Grayson can easily slide into that, and he's just such a chameleon-like character. He's really great.
Yeah, he's and this book, speaking, he's come across different things that he's never seen before. I mean, stuff he's seen before but never had to directly deal with. There's a great part in the book where he pulls a gun on a guy, and one of the person in his ear, his little dispatch, is like, "Are you really going to use that gun?" And he just throws it like a batarang. So you definitely see a lot of the old Dick Grayson, but a lot of new stuff that we've never seen before. Definitely recommend you check it out. Definitely recommend you put it on your subscription list. And here's a word about that from Comicazi.
Hi, I'm Tresha.
And I'm Renee.
And at Comicazi, supporting your local comic shop means discounts for you.
Did you know that by subscribing to just one title, you are granted a 10% discount on all new comics and graphic novels?
We only ask that you stop by once a month to pick up your discounted titles.
We also offer excellent mail order subscriptions that are delivered right to your front door with free shipping included.
So support your local comic shop in a meaningful way.
Become a Comicazi subscriber today.
So our final segment for this episode is what I lovingly like to refer to as the Super Comicazi Videodrome Showdown.
That's some poetry right there, Mike.
Along with the greats.
Yeah.
So one aspect of Dick Grayson from the previous episode that we didn't touch upon, and a really important part of his character, is his sexuality. It's a big running theme throughout his history that pretty much every female in the DC universe wants to sleep with him.
It's pretty cool. It's a nice thing, if you're you watched your parents get murdered at their circus, and then you got taken in by Batman, who taught you all the gritty, awful things about the world. It's nice to know that the guy, he's kind of a chick magnet. It's pretty cool. He's had some great loves. He's had
a little reaffirming.
Yeah, he's had Starfire, which is the one I remember from the new Teen Titans, an alien princess who can learn your language just by kissing you.
Yeah, and the showdown part of this is Daredevil. Matt Murdock is the Nightwing of the Marvel universe, but he's a little more I don't know, scummy about like his loves, like they end up dead and crazy, or both,
or they want to kill him.
Yeah, and I think he's got more like actual conquests if we want to do that. But that's how I view Daredevil's loves, are their conquests, and he's all like, "Oh, woe is me" about it. Whereas Dick Grayson is he's a bit of a nicer guy.
Yeah, he's a nicer guy. He's kind of I'd say the quality of people he hangs around. It's just better, growing up with the Justice League. You tend to hang out with a better group of people as opposed to hanging out with scummy demon worshipping ninjas like the Hand. I think that attracts certain types of people.
Barbara Gordon.
Barbara Gordon, possibly one of the best romances in comics.
Yeah,
Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon.
I would say Dick Grayson is the bigger stud.
Yeah, but we want to hear what you have to say. So leave us a comment.
Us know.
Send us an email, and we'll touch it back upon this in our next episode. So thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, check us out at 407 Highland Ave in Somerville, Massachusetts, or at Comicazi.com. We got all sorts of cool stuff. We'll order products for you. We have game nights, stand-up comedy, live music, all sorts of stuff is happening right here at Comicazi.